Hi, Ray here. It's great to see you. And I want to especially thank the flood of new subscribers. You really liked that last fireside chat video, so maybe we'll do more of that. Anyway, that topped the 1,000 subscriber scales. I'd hoped to publish this video early yesterday, but the photo gremlin intervened, as in I screwed up. By way of explanation, why don't I just run the video as it was recorded originally and then illustrate how things played out. Okay, I'm on my way to my local London Drugs to pick up a roll of Fuji Velvia, which is a transparency or slide film E6 process. Now the E6 process is very slow and hard to come by these days. Mainly because not many people shoot film, and even less people shoot slide film these days. So I dropped it off before Christmas, and it's taken forever, although I think it's been back in there for a week or two. Anyway, here we are well into January, and I'm finally going to get this back. So yeah, film is color film, as I developed my own black and white film, but color film is, it's hard to find a processor these days. In fact, this particular store has told me that when their C41 color negative film processors wear out, they're not going to be replaced. So there may come a time where it's going to be very hard for me to get film developed. Having said that, I'm still able to get 1 hour processing at this location and one other in Victoria, BC. So that's pretty cool. So after waiting a couple of months for the return of these slides, this location sent them to another location on the mainland for processing. I was pretty excited to scan and look at the results. Now, here's where the gremlins arrived. The idea for this video started 5 years ago when I bought a Fujifilm X-Pro2 camera, and it has inbuilt film simulations, including its own Velvia profile. I used Velvia film for years. It was one of my favorite films for outdoor adventures and for commercial use. And speaking of adventures, Kodak sponsored one of my expeditions years ago, providing a few dozen rolls of their film that they called Ektachrome Lumiere. However, I actually preferred Fuji Velvia, and I bought a batch of that as well. And I'm glad that I did, because the Kodak film, also E6 process, hasn't fared so well over the 25 years since. Too bad they didn't send me Kodachrome. During that trip, I was shipping the film back to another sponsor who was putting it through their E6 processor. So I had everything waiting for me when I got home, ready to start banging out magazine articles and fulfilling sponsorship obligations. I'm rambling, but here's the point. This roll of Velvia, loaded incidentally into this little Yashica T3 point and shoot camera, comes with a Carl Zeiss 35mm Tesla 35mm beautiful little lens. It sat in there for 5 years, and I'd occasionally pull it out and remember, oh yeah, I was doing that little test. So it even went, I think actually I started on a trip to England, and so yeah, 5 years it took me to get to this. So over that time, it looks like the green layer has really shifted to red. You can really notice it in the shadows, and well, anywhere that's supposed to be green, it's turned red. So in a long scanning and editing session last night, using the Epson Perfection V750 scanner, I began trying to rectify that problem when it occurred to me that it made no sense. I was trying to compare the results, and obviously it just wasn't fair. I could see that at the preview stage, that the colors were off, and I even made some preliminary adjustments in Photoshop before realizing, what am I doing? I know some brave new analog photographers embrace this kind of thing, like expired film and developers. Hey, I have an E6 kit from like 1990, call me. But that's not my thing. Or, So anyway, in the end, I thought this might be useful as a cautionary tale, or an illustration of how to really get that vintage look without resorting to, I don't know, hipstergram filters. Is that still a thing? I mentioned in a recent video that I'm planning to sell my X-Pro2, and still do when it's possible to meet up with prospective buyers. And I mentioned another Fuji fail, this one not mine, in the form of the 10 to 24mm zoom lens. Here's an example of what I was talking about. Big fail. I know I should have tested the lens beforehand, but I literally bought it on the way to the airport. Wish I could do that now. So here's the comparisons for what they're worth. You can see there's some serious red action happening, particularly in the shadows and pretty much anywhere there's supposed to be green. And as I said, Velvia was known for its vibrant greens. I spent a good hour trying to restore this image of Victoria's Fiskard Lighthouse until I realized the futility of the exercise. Again, thanks to all the new subscribers. But if this is your first visit, and if you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up, and please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos from this channel. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.